It is the homemade broadcast. It is episode 592. My name's Will Kuncz. This is Anna Hummel.
What is up? Thanks for dealing with all of the shenanigans today. I appreciate your flexibility.
No, I appreciate your flexibility because this is a special edition. Anna's in some sort of green cave where unknown things happen. And I'm here at Jeffrey Epstein's Island, not with Anna, because we had to reschedule because we got fun things that we have to do. Going to a comedy show on Wednesday nights. We're pre-recording on a Monday night. And it's crazy how 9 p.m. feels like 1 a.m.
Yeah, right.
Remember we used to, you were there a little earlier, but I remember back in the day when Stay Woke first got on the air on the Bone, and I would wait in my room until 11:30 so I could go to work for 1 hour and do 1 hour of radio, which seems totally, absolutely out of the question, insane now, because frankly, 9 o'clock is a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I completely agree. I have a new rule where I don't leave my house at night. Meaning, if I'm out and it becomes night, fine. Yeah. But don't ever ask me to leave my house when it's dark. That seems ridiculous.
I mean, we're getting the time change. The clocks are falling back.
I know, which is going to be even worse. It's going to get dark at 5:30.
Yeah.
So which is kind of nice. I know people complain about it. It's really, for me, it's not so much, and I know this is the sentiment of a lot of people, where it's not so much one way or the other, but just pick one. It's the changing that throws people off, but I kind of like it when it gets dark at night because I'm in full hibernation mode. And it's going to be so cold this weekend. I cannot wait.
Yeah. So. I hate the getting dark early thing. I do not like it one bit. I mean, if you're working in an office and you're walking to your car and it's pretty much dark, that's so depressing. You get that seasonal depression, a lot of people. And I like going outside and taking a walk, after work. And I mean, you can still do that. You can take a night walk, but you're not getting the sun rays, the red light, the vitamin D from the sun that your body needs. I hate the stupid daylight savings time. I thought we were over this. I thought we were done with this.
Well, we are. It ends on Saturday.
Well, I mean, for good, no more.
You mean the cycling, the back, the forth, the up, the down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Because even now, before the time change, it's pretty dark by 7.
Yes.
No.
It always throws me off. I'm like, why is it so getting dark so early? And then I realize we're getting close to the, what would you call it? The winter solstice.
Yeah.
It feels like it was just the peak of summer yesterday, but no, alas, it is, it's almost wintertime. So thank God. I don't care anymore. Let it be dark. I just want it to be cold. I want a change in the weather because I've just feel like I've had literal swamp butt for 7 months.
Yeah.
I had swamp butt this weekend. It was really gross. I was outside and I could feel a droplet of sweat that made it through my cheeks and was exiting on the back of my hamstring. And I go, that's disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine what it's like for me.
Ew.
I know. I mean, there's so much just more meat there in the cheeks. It's just a lot. It's a lot. No, I do feel I don't really like cold weather, I will say, but I do like Florida cold.
Yeah, cool weather.
Cool weather, yeah.
Yeah, Florida winter. Nothing is better. Boy, Jesus, I cannot wait. And I'm camping. I'm going to go camping, which is very out of the ordinary for myself, but the boyfriend is doing a camping trip, and I'm going to go for the last day/night.
How long is he going for?
He usually goes for 4 or 5 days. This time he's only going for about 3 or 4, maybe. And I'll be going the last night. Which camping is not usually my bag. I feel like I feel like I should like camping. Like I like all the things that come along with camping, like the reflectiveness, being in nature, all that sort of stuff. But it's the bugs. I don't like the bugs.
Yeah.
I'm not great to camp with. So,
well, the weather will be nice. 4
oh,
days, it's so long to camp. I mean, you just reek. I did Bonnaroo when I was in my, I don't know, mid to late 20s. And I just wore board shorts for 4 days. And I could just, I didn't smell phenomenal. It was not a fun place to be. It's so long to just be outside not bathing. I'm a shower a day, man. I like to at least get one shower in. Sometimes do 2.
yeah.
So, I mean, 4 days is just a lot. I know if you're near a body of water or something, you can jump in, but you're in dirty water. Like, even if you're in the springs, which is like fresh, clean water, it's still outside with like dirt and bugs and stuff in it. You know what I mean? Uh-oh, you're muted.
And other gross Bonnaroo people bathing.
What's that? I missed the beginning.
I said, and just gross other Bonnaroo people bathing. Right.
Oh, well, I don't think they're bathing. They did. I remember they had some sort of area with like showers or something with like running water where you could kind of hose off, but I didn't do that because that just seemed grosser than just being in my own filth instead of bathing other
What
people's.
were there springs you said? I thought you said there were springs there.
No, I mean not at Bonnaroo, but I mean like even I'm saying if you're camping and there's
yeah,
springs,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross, but I think that's like the point of it. I don't know. I'm not going to be there for very long. I've had very few camping.
Oh, you're muted again.
I'm not even touching anything, so I don't know how this is happening. Let's move that.
Yeah. Can you set the microphone down and talk?
No, the stand broke.
Oh crap.
Unfortunately, sorry.
All right.
We're really jerry-rigging a lot of stuff. I'm gonna hold it like this, and hopefully nothing happens. But one of my first camping memory that I have, unfortunately, is the first time I saw people have sex in real time.
Oh.
So that was jarring in a weird way. They were among my best friends in high school, and one of them was like outside. And I don't even know how I ended up camping with them. I was very good friends with both of them. And then the other one was like snuck out of the tent. And I'm just like, I know what they're going to do. And I like looked outside and I could just see like a little glimmer of the moonlight. And they were just like banging on a, what do you call it? Like like a picnic bench, like a picnic table.
Where people have brunch and lunch.
Yeah. And it was just the 3 of us. I don't know. It was really jarring. And then they came back in the tent thinking I was asleep. And I was like, I saw that. They're like, oh, God.
Were you the third person? It was just you 3?
Yeah, the 3 of us. I was really good friends with the guy. And I was really good friends with the girl. And to be honest, and they're still married to this day. They have 2 children. I don't want to take full credit, but I'm going to take partial credit for my friend, the male, asking my girlfriend to prom. And that was kind of, they were high school sweethearts. So, but yeah, so we were just all friends. And then I went up with them to like a Palomar Mountain, which is some mountains very close to where we live in San Diego. And I saw my friends, I saw like real life porn. It was kind of weird. I was probably, I don't know, 19 or something like that. So that was gross.
There's interesting, factors here. Do you think it's possible that this guy was trying to get some, hot menage a trois action, that it was supposed to be 3, but you didn't bite, so it just turned into those 2?
As much as I would like to think that, to flatter myself, I don't think so, unfortunately. And it's funny because I did have a crush on him. I did have a crush. I had a crush on every guy that like looked at me and like didn't go at you. Like any guy that was like nice to me and like thought I was funny, I had a crush on.
Mm-hmm.
And this man, his name is Jordan. And Jordan was the first person in my life who ever said that I was funny. And I'll never forget that. I was just talking smack, in algebra. We were probably in 10th grade. And he's like giggling, he's laughing. And he turns around and he goes, "You're pretty funny." and I felt like I was trying on a new coat. Like I was like, funny. Hey, I'm funny. So yeah, I always credit Jordan with that for noticing that I had a good sense of humor. So
yeah, I guess camping is, despite the smell, a good time to get it on, under the stars and the moon. I'll tell you the worst thing about camping. Are you planning on what's your bathroom plan? It's particularly, I mean, obviously number one, it's not that big of a deal. For girls, it's a little harder, but what if you have to go two out there?
Then I have to go too.
But you're prepared to do that. You're going to dig the hole and
no, I think there might be porta potties, and if there's not, like, I don't know. I don't know what I think. Listen, my man is going to be prepared. That's the plan. The plan is bring a man who has a plan.
Yeah, your fellow looks like he has like a bucket or something at the very least.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think he really enjoys taking a deuce in nature. He's said that a few times to me. So he probably just has like toilet paper and then just like litters, but it's biodegradable. So
yeah,
whatever, I guess. I'm just hoping it doesn't happen. I'm hoping that I can get one out of my body Saturday morning before I leave, and then return Sunday morning before I have to make pupes again.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I will say, when I did the Bonnaroo thing, I kind of was like, I'm just not gonna go for 4 days. I'm prepared to
okay
hold it in. And I literally got there, got to the campsite, started setting up my tent, and was like, I gotta poop. I have to go right now. And luckily it was the first day before. Oh, that's just a calamity. I think I've told this story before, but it was clean. The porta potty was clean. It wasn't, a terrible experience. The next morning, when I walked in to take a pee pee into the porta potty, it completely destroyed. Pee everywhere, poo everywhere, smeared. It was an awful sight. And this is day one. And I remember coming back and like being like, these damn dude. I was blaming the guys. And peeing everywhere. There's a urinal right here connected to the porta potty. You just pee in that.
Yeah.
And my friend, a girl that was there, said, no, that's us doing the hover action. And then just, not sitting on the seat and then just spraying everywhere. So.
Not great aim. I've played that game before.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever told this story, but I kind of want to say it on the after show, but I guess I'll just say it here, be clean about it. But I went to Okeechobee Music Festival. I believe this was 2017. And I did acid. And when I went to the bathroom, it was nighttime. And I was finally able to have a bowel movement, which was bothering me like most of that day. I'm sorry, I apologize in advance, but once the poop finally came out of me, I tripped so hard. Like I was in there, like, and I'm pretty sure I was like grunting a little bit, like trying to really get it out. And then I just remember once it finally exited my body, like I was like I definitely started tripping even harder in the porta potty, and it was awesome.
Damn.
So
yeah. Well, I hope. Are you gonna take anything this weekend?
Oh hell no.
No, you're done with that.
No, I'm not done forever, but like it's not the time nor the place. Because the man's not into that, so you don't want to be doing that alone. Yeah, so
not ideal. Well, I mean, I will say that I went camping one time, and there was no porta potties at all, so it was forced, upon me to dig a hole. And I went out from the back of the campsite onto this little trail. It was pretty open, but I was like kind of looking around, I didn't see anybody. So I dug the hole, squatted down, made, and then, as I was finishing up the last wipe and pulling up my pants. A family of 4 came around the corner. I was just on the walking trail. I didn't know. But I mean, it was literally pulling, and as they were coming around, everything was, flopping back into place, and nobody was none the wiser, thank God. But that could have been a very horrible scenario. Young children just see a man with his butt cheeks out in the open, out in the air. That's nature. So I mean, I guess you're getting some of that, but yeah, it would have been horrifying, I'm sure.
Yes.
It's funny we were talking about this because it's a great segue into this. I was reading this story. I found it interesting. Do you frequent Gulfport, or have you ever been to Gulfport?
I've been to Gulfport maybe once.
Okay. Not your vibe?
No.
Okay. Yeah, it's even gayer than St. Pete, but I like it. We go there a lot. Good bar there. O'Matty's is down there. Pia's Italian restaurant is there, which is really good. One of my favorites. And so we frequent down there a lot. It's known for, I mean, gay stuff and like pirates, like modern day pirates live there. They were moored out, anchored, in Boca Ciega Bay, and they would kind of come ashore and do the thing. But essentially, there was homeless people living in boats. Well, they technically, I guess, weren't homeless. Their home was the boat, but they didn't have a permanent address. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the hurricane took a lot of them. I don't know what happened to them. I hope they just left their boat,
right.
But probably some went down with the ship. Let's just put it that way. But now there's a new trend going on. We just have land pirates now in the city of Gulfport. Tampa Bay Times did a story about this. I have mixed feelings about this. They're calling it a ban on van life, quote unquote van life, in the city of Gulfport. But none of these people have a van. Like, van life is very specific. It's, millennials in, a $200,000 van driving around the country. Lots of people do it.
Yep.
These are more just like living in a, 1986 Oldsmobile that may or may not run. It's not really van life. It's homeless people living out of their cars. I don't really know how to feel about it though. This one guy, I think it's this guy here, looks like an older gentleman. You can see him on the screen, right?
Yeah.
So he's got it rough. He's living in his 1996 Mercury Sable, and he is just kind of parked. Gulfport has a thing, you can leave your car there overnight. They have bars and stuff. So he's kind of just parked. There's a public bathroom there. There's like an outdoor shower, and he's not alone. He's one of many, apparently, that have just kind of accumulated right along the beach there, and right near the downtown waterfront of the city of Gulfport. And you're not going to believe this, but some people don't like it and are a little upset by it and are calling the police and having discussions over this. But they had a city council meeting over it, and I kind of feel bad for these guys because, like, literally, what are they supposed to do? There was, this guy says he gets like $1,200 a month in the story for disability because he broke his back, and he said he can't even find a room in Gulfport or probably really Pinellas County for under $1,000. I don't know if that's true or not, but that sounds like it could be plausible. No.
Yeah. Things are getting pricey. That guy is 63 years old. Did I read that correctly?
Yeah. Mark Mayhew, 63.
Yeah. What
for
a life.
Months, he's been living.
I mean, I wouldn't classify this guy as like a typical homeless person, right? He's not on that. Like, I feel like there's a hierarchy of homeless. This might be at the top of that hierarchy, right? It's not like the gross drug-addled addict on the corner of the street sleeping on a cardboard box. Like, at least you got a car, bro, but not good.
No, it's not. And I think you're right. They're like, I don't really want to be offensive, but like the best of the homeless, like they're trying. I feel like there are homeless people out there that really are just down on their luck, and like things are just bad, like in the country now, worse than ever for a lot of people. There's a lot of people with a lot of money, and then there's people with just none at all. That
Yeah, it's always been that way. It's always
it
been
has,
really.
but also it wasn't. Houses weren't $500,000 for a normal
Yeah,
house
yeah,
either.
that is getting out of control for sure. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I don't know the solution here for these people. Like he's trying. He's like, they have a rule that Florida passed that you can't sleep in public anymore.
Mhm.
So it kind of essentially critics have said that it makes homelessness illegal, and I kind of go, well, that might be good if they're providing service. If they're just not like taking people to jail and throwing them in prison for, not
Being
making enough
homeless.
money. But generally that's not the case. It's usually people with severe mental illness or some sort of addiction or both. But these people kind of seem like they have a car, so it's like some money's coming in. This guy is getting disability. He gets $1,200 a month. I know that system can be abused, certainly, but
I think if the car is paid off, you're not really paying for gas. Like, who knows if the car is insured or not? But
well, that's the thing. I think with the sleeping in public law, this doesn't apply because they're in a car and
right.
they have their driver's license, and I think it has to run. The car has to be like move from time to time, and I think they have to be insured and everything too. But technically, it's their personal property, and if they're in it, you really can't tell somebody you can't be here. I mean, you could put up paid parking, but people are against that too because people want to enjoy the city of Gulfport and not have to pay, or a parking garage or whatever. So there's really no solution here at all, which is why I guess I found the story so interesting because I'm pretty outspoken against I feel like compassion towards the homeless can go a little bit overboard sometimes because a lot of times they're just mentally ill or drug addicted or both, and they need help. We need to open up mental institutions. I think would be a good
Yeah.
solution to that. But these guys seem like they're in a different category because like you're holding down a household kind of in your car.
Yeah.
They got food, they go to the grocery store, like they're still participating in society a little bit, just with what they can or what they claim they can do. I don't know. I mean, like $1,200 a month. I haven't looked in a long time. You really can't get rent a room in somebody's house for $1,200 a month for $1,000. I don't know. It's hard to believe.
Well, I mean, think about it. Maybe they don't want to spend all of that money on a room when you have to spend money on food and
Yeah.
God knows what else you need. But talk about a great idea for a podcast. Just interviewing and then because they're not like gross homeless people on the side of the street, no offense. Um they're probably more of the type, like you said, they're like down on their luck that can't afford anything and probably have some really interesting stories. I
Mm,
don't think these are the ones necessarily that are like addicted to crack cocaine because in that case they wouldn't even be able to hold down a car.
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, maybe we should start going out there doing podcasts.
It would be interesting.
Wouldn't it be?
I'm sure
Yeah.
you're right. I'm sure you're right. That would be a good series. I remember Danny Jones did that series on the fishermen at Madeira Beach.
Mhm.
Be something similar to kind of that. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have any? I'm sure you don't have solutions. I don't think anybody does, but
Just final no, I think like what you said, you need to start opening up the mental asylums. They did get a bad rap when did they close them down? Like in the 70s and 80s or something like that?
it's the 80s and 90s. I think Geraldo Rivera is personally responsible for. He did like an expose on ABC News 2020 or something.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they kind of threw the baby out with the bathwater on that one.
Yeah.
I think there's a way to do it right. Like maybe don't do lobotomies anymore, like a Rosemary Kennedy sort of a thing. Um, don't abuse them, but also people need a place to go if they're not really necessarily meant for prison. I feel like that's somewhat unfair if they're just homeless. And I mean, I understand that there are crimes just involved in loitering or being on a street you're not supposed to be on, but also these people kind of just need help, clearly, and there's no services to kind of move them in the right direction. And in the right direction might just be getting them out of sight of the rest of society so we can function better, if that makes sense. Not very nice. But some of these people cannot be rehabilitated, unfortunately. Not everyone can be rehabilitated. So where do these people go? They just live on the streets? Well, it seems kinder to put them in a place where they would at least have like a bed and a warm meal to eat every day. So
agreed. Yeah. I think that most probably are. Many, I think, just need medication.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I'm sure there's like varying degrees. And then I also feel like even if you're like mentally like sane in the sense that like you don't have anything clinically wrong with you, if you start doing crack for like 30 years, you're not going to come out of it any which way normal. So at that point, you might as well be mentally ill just from being like your brain is completely fried. So again, I feel like I really, truly, truly lack compassion for the homeless. I really don't feel bad for them in a sense that other than like you go, oh, that sucks. But it's not like the way I feel when I see a kid that has like leukemia or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I do feel like there were a lot of poor choices. And a lot of them I like I've said this before, but I do have more of a respect for people that are addicted to drugs. And I understand that a lot of them, if not all of them, are just trying to cope with some sort of trauma that happened to them in their life. And that's why they turn to drugs to kind of ease that pain. And I really overlooked that. I kind of just was like, oh, they're just gross, like addicts that decided to make a bad decision one day. And this is the result of that. But, you know, a lot of them are dealing with some like horrific stuff that happened in their childhood and they don't know how to deal with it other than take, heroin. But also, humans have agency. You did the wrong thing. There have been plenty of people who've been, raped as children that didn't end up on the streets. As it's not nice to say, but it is true. There have been people who've been in the same situations, and some of them end up on the street, and others become productive members of society. So at some point, you got to go. Maybe it's you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I think that it's better than it feels like the compassionate kind of opinion that many of our friends have is just let them be. Just let them live their life. Just let them rot out on the streets. But it's like that's a human being. There should be some sort of community to kind of step up for them. And I would have no problem. Like, I hate taxes. I think that's a big scam, and they spend my money on really dumb stuff. I'm totally cool with paying taxes for stuff like that. I don't really want to pay for Ukraine or Israel or LGBTQ awareness in Lithuania and Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm totally okay with helping out somebody who needs help.
Who's an American citizen.
It's an American citizen. Like, we have a lot of problems here. Things are not good. I wish we would just concentrate on this area for a while. And then when it gets better, maybe we can branch out to try to help everybody else and do LGBTQ awareness in Lebanon. But make sure we're good here first and branch our way out. Otherwise, you're just going to get.
Yeah. I wish we would have taken all that money that we spent on housing migrants and kind of put that towards some sort of facility for the homeless. I don't really believe in giving money to the homeless directly. I don't think that does anything. They're just going to spend it on drugs. But if you open up asylums for them, then I think that money would be money well spent. So
yeah, I would rather it go to Mark Mayhew, 63 of Gulfport, who's living in his 1996 Mercury Sable. I'd rather help him find housing.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's bad. Like, it sounds cold and callous, but it's really, you're still helping people. You know what I mean? Like, they're just not from another country or whatever. And I know
Why is that? I don't think that's cold and callous at all. I think you need to, the analogy they use all the time is you got to put on your own oxygen mask before you can help anybody else. So
exactly. That is a good one. And that's pretty much how I feel with this sort of stuff. Like, there's a lot of people who are in Mark Mayhew's shoes who are living in a 1996 Mercury Sable who, it sounds like I said, it sounds like he's on some sort of disability, broke his back, he can't work. So he claims, I know that systems can be abused too, but I don't know. I don't know what Mark Mayhew's situation is, but it's just a shame that we have people, living in their cars in Gulfport, that seem like decent people that are still trying. And, there's just some people who are, want them out. And I also sympathize with those people who don't, are paying to live there. The Gulfport's getting gentrified. That's true. Money's coming in there. They're after the hurricane, they're tearing down the little one-story houses and they're building little McMansions down in Gulfport because it's a nice little area. And that's a shame. But, those new people are mad. But there's just no solution here. But there is a solution, like we said, just using our tax dollars to help Mark instead of, Ukraine and Israel and all these other places. But anyway, we got to go. Thank you, Radio St. Pete. We do extra time on Substack, hmbradio.substack.com, home_made_man. You can follow me on Instagram over there. And I want to say, I don't know if he's watching or not, but I met a guy named Chad over the weekend that I was getting breakfast. And he said, I know you. And I went, is that good or bad? And he goes, I used to listen to you at night. And I was like, my man.
That's awesome.
That was cool. So I got to meet him. Nice guy. He was doing some door dashing. It was very hectic and chaotic a little bit. It seemed like he was waiting for a long time to get the hell out of there. But
what was the establishment? Can you say?
It's called Little Bird. It's up on 19th.
Okay.
Breakfast diner type of place. So he said he watches YouTube sometimes. So I don't know if he's watching today, but if he is, Chad, it's good to meet you. And Julie joined the Substack. So thank you, Julie. You could do that too, hmbradio.substack.com. There is a free version there. You get the podcast early. If you join the 30-minute free portion, then we do the extra time that obviously paid subscribers get early there. Or you can, if you're a cheapskate, which I don't blame you, you can wait till Sunday at midnight at WillsYouTube.com. And hopefully we'll see you Wednesday at 6 p.m. for the live show, WillsYouTube.com. So goodbye, Radio St. Pete and podcast listeners. All right, we're in our extra time. Do we want to say anything else about Mr. Mayhew and Gulfport?
I wish I had more sympathy. I want to know your story, Mark. I'm curious because I feel like you could kind of give a coherent rendition of what has happened to him.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but also, do you also think like, what did you do that no one in your life is letting you sleep on their couch? You know what I mean? Like you don't got a cousin or brother or friend who's like, hey man, you could stay with me for a few months. And maybe they did that and he stayed for a few years, sort of a thing.
I will say,
I am curious.
I don't know if it was that guy, Mark, but there was at least somebody in that story because I covered a few different people. One guy was staying with his brother, and then the brother's daughter moved home and needed that room. So I don't know if she was in the same scenario or maybe she was going to be out on the street, but he had to go. So he did. And now he's living in the car. So I don't know. I mean, it's not good. It doesn't seem like things are getting any better. So I feel very fortunate just to be in our situation, to have a freaking house.
Yeah. And I do a lot of bitching. Like I really don't love the place I'm staying in right now, but I try to, like you said, remind myself that I have shelter and try to live in a state of gratitude, even though I feel like it escapes me. I need to go back to meditating. I felt like I was better when I was doing that on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
But it's not fun being alone with your thoughts. I don't like it, but when you do it, you feel so much better and centered. So I need to bring that back.
Yeah. Yep. Well, let's see what else we got here. I saw this story last week and I thought it was interesting. It's from St. Petersburg. This happened a few weeks ago. I couldn't really find anything else about this, but Essentially what happened was a Florida woman contacted police earlier this month to report that a male assailant had barged into her home, knocked her to the ground,
What?
and committed a sexual assault against her. While the attacker was a stranger, the woman said she was able to take a photo of the suspect while he was seated on the couch in her St. Petersburg apartment. Multiple officers and forensic technicians responded to the scene where I'm not going to say her name. She's a 32-year-old mother of two. The subsequent police examination of the image provided by the victim revealed that the photo was AI generated by ChatGPT.
Oh no.
And I've seen like pranks of like people doing this, like generating a homeless guy in my living room type of thing, and people texting the pictures to their parents and saying, "Do you know this guy? He just showed up." And then the parents freak out and are calling multiple times, and it's kind of like a prank you pull on your booming parents.
Mm-hmm.
But she used it in this way, which obviously she's got some sort of mental issues. There, that's her. This is on the screen, right? Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. She's all right.
Not bad.
Not bad. She was released on $1,000 bail. Police and court documents do not include a motive for the bizarre incident. I mean, it's just she just wanted attention, right?
Yeah. But hey, have you heard of that new app? Is it called like Sora or
Yes.
is that what it's called?
Video.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. And all the my partner, as you like to say, told me about this yesterday. I feel like I'm a boomer because I'm like, what is that? But apparently they're dishing out lots of videos of like Bob Ross and Mr. Rogers, and they're pretty strong. Like they're pretty good. And my boyfriend was even saying that like AI has tremendously improved even from like this time last year.
Yes.
Like it is getting exponentially better by seemingly the hour, and I know we've discussed this. I feel like I am taking a step back. Like I've been off of Twitter, off of Instagram. YouTube is a little bit of an issue with the shorts, but I don't like where we're headed, Will. Like I really don't. I don't think it's a healthy place. And I'm just trying to take a step back.
Yeah.
But yeah, this AI stuff, I can only imagine for the judicial system is just going to be an absolute nightmare when it comes to evidence,
Yeah, I mean, it's already kind of like you can't believe anything now. Or what is it going to be like in, I don't know, 2 months when the video gets even better and you see,
Right.
Some politician that you don't like doing something horrible, or a politician that you do like doing something horrible.
Yeah, yeah.
That's going to lead to, because obviously that's going to happen.
Yeah. They've already started the whole porn thing, obviously,
Yeah.
but they're so realistic. It almost feels like it is. Like it might as well be like stolen, leaked material because it just looks so realistic. I remember a couple of years ago you had the Taylor Swift thing, and I mean, like, even that wasn't great, but these days it's so much better.
Yeah. It's I mean, just the implications of that too, because ChatGPT did say that they're going to allow users to generate their own corn, I'll call it.
Oh, sorry.
You're allowed to. That's okay. It's really dumb rules, but generate that sort of material, and it's not only for like celebrities, but I mean, kids are gonna in high school or middle school are gonna generate classmates doing that.
Oh yeah, they already have. I've read stories about that before where a girl was just humiliated, and poor thing, like she didn't even do anything. Like she was like probably a 13, 14-year-old girl. So then you have like kiddie porn stuff. Then you get into weird murky water there where you're like, well, is this child porn? It's not real, but it kind of is. Like
looks real.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you think the ramifications are going to be on that?
I don't think anybody's thinking about it, and I don't think
I am. I'm thinking about it right now. What is that going to be if they're like, we found kiddie porn? It's like, yeah, but it's not. It's not real.
Yeah, but it is. Clearly is.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's it's not like a child was harmed in the making of the video or something like that. And if that's your bag, that might be the solution, but also ew. And what does this mean now? So I don't know. It's going to get really, really messy with laws and stuff like that because basically, as I've learned a fair bit about lawfare in the last few years. My partner knows quite a bit just about how law and lawfare works, but basically everything is legal until there's a law saying something is illegal, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So everything is fair game. And then, as technology develops, it's like, oh yeah, you can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. So
yeah, well, they're just, going straight ahead with this stuff, not really thinking about what the implications and ramifications could be. They're just going to do it and we'll see, like you said, they'll make laws, I guess, kind of after it happens. But it's like the Jurassic Park meme with Jeff Goldblum. Like you can, but I forget the exact words he used. You thought about so much if you could that I don't remember, but anyway, they're just doing it and they'll figure it'll all come out in the wash. But yeah, I mean it's already happening, so I don't even know how to speculate what's coming. But I know it's not going to be good. It seems like it's not going to be good. All the content that's online now, I feel like half of it's generated by AI as it is now. What is it going to be like in a year? There's just not going to be any human footprint on the internet anymore.
I don't know. I'm not happy about how things are going. Even over the weekend we went to the in-laws house. Well, we're not married, but his family, the boyfriend's family. And on the wall they have like it was like a birthday thing and for one of the kids, and it was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And like it was written YouTuber.
Yeah.
And I've been learning recently that that's what every kid wants to be. Like that's the number one career goal for, and I know they're just kids, but still, I mean, I remember being a kid where it was like, oh, I want to be a fireman or an astronaut or a doctor. The aspiration, it seems, of every child, between the ages of, let's say, 7 and 12 is like, I want to be a YouTuber. Like these are who these kids idolize. And you can be a YouTuber. Like it's just, a lot of it is just like brain rot. And it's not like you're really going to learn anything educational from a 12-year-old. So I don't know. It's not good. It's really not good.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know if this is the first, like this crime here, the generating a homeless man on ChatGPT and reporting to cops. She's just, a little bit psycho, a little crazy, some attention, which is unfortunate. But, there was really no crime except her, reporting a false incident. But penalties going to be tougher on people who use AI to fabricate crimes? I don't know. I mean, you could waste a lot of time and resources. It seems like a kind of a petty thing, but I mean, something that's going to happen and continue to frame people. Like you said, the judicial system is going to have to deal with this, and AI is going to be used to, try to incriminate people who might be innocent. So
that, and then beyond just like the judicial system, let's just think about for a second. I think about this all the time about how, like, I heard Eric Weinstein talking about this, which is never the move. Do not listen to Eric Weinstein if you're trying to feel optimistic about anything, because he will freak you out about stuff that you weren't even paying attention to. But I was paying attention to this, and he did echo it. But he basically said every job you know of right now is over. Like every job. And then he listed a bunch of stuff, like analyst, it's over. Teacher, over. News anchor, over. Even doctor, over. Like everything is over, because forget about just like AI and creating like video or whatever, but let's talk about how it's going to eclipse 80% of the workforce. Like what's left besides like construction and maybe like some manual jobs there. But I imagine machines will, you'll need less and less people on the construction side because there'll be machines that can kind of just do it for you. But anything that has to do with a computer is over.
Mm-hmm.
Even a doctor over. News anchors, they've already started running AI through that. Radio personalities over. It just seems like, and then I remember listening to Andrew Yang. When did he run for president? Like 2019, maybe.
Yeah.
And he was talking about UBI, and I'm like, this communist. That's what I thought. I'm like, this psychopath. And now I'm like, he might be right. Like, what are we all gonna do when computers just completely take over? So.
Yeah, well, it's going to have to be some sort of, and maybe maybe we're transitioning into that now, where you just have like
that way. It really feels that way for me, that we're kind of at what would you call it? Just like a turning point, not to be cliche with it, but
yeah, well, I mean, there's a big, not to sound like Bernie Sanders, but there is a big disparity of the haves and have-nots. I mean, there's people that can't afford $500,000 normal houses that, are doing okay. And then there's people like our friend in Gulfport that we were just talking about that, gets UBI, essentially disability,
yeah.
$100 a month, but can't afford to, have a home. But when these things start taking, these normal jobs, I mean, what are people going to do? They're going to have to be on some sort of government welfare, or, these companies that run these things. I mean, there's just going to be like an oligarchy of these Sam Altmans and Elon Musks that, haves, and then the rest of us will dole out some sort of, and maybe that'll be, I mean, I guess it'll be kind of good where you'll have a house and, food and whatever. But obviously it's a little scary when you're dependent on those type of people, let alone the government. But
what if like, let's just play this out. Can we just play like a doomsday fantasy right now? But like, say 70% of the workforce becomes eclipsed by computers, right? So let's pretend everybody in the country is employed. And suddenly 70%, I don't know what that is, 200 and, well, I guess you have to account for children. Let's just say 200 million people are suddenly out of work. And it's not like they can't find a job. There are no jobs. There are no jobs because the people that work at fast food, there's a kiosk, AI can do it better. There's machines that make it, whatever. You need one person to manage the whole store instead of, 10 people on staff. Anything like what I do, say with a computer, you don't need it. You don't need that anymore. What happens? Like, what do people do with their time is my question. Cause that's scary. That's the scary part is you go, okay, of course it's scary with like UBI, everybody's on government assistance, not good. But then what do all those people do with their time? What do people do when they have too much time? I feel like they're oftentimes up to no good. They're maybe rioting or looting or becoming involved in a gang. Like, I feel like people become their worst selves, and I can speak for myself, become our worst selves when we don't feel like we have purpose, when we don't feel like we have anything to do, when we don't feel productive or that we're making a difference. What do you turn to? Drugs and gangs? Like, what happens there? When you don't have anything to do and you have nowhere to be, what do you do with your time?
I think, unfortunately, it's not even going to be like people just going out and committing crime. They're just going to go into the internet. They're going to put, now you have the goggles, you can go in, now you can make your own videos that you want to see with whoever you want to see in them, and you can strap some apparatus to your private parts and just kind of go to town on them, online in the internet.
So just like total like dopamine indulging behavior kind of things.
Yeah.
We're going to be so freaking depressed because that's not how dopamine works at all. Like, you got to cycle it. But if you're just like constantly on a pleasure seeking mission, I was thinking about that today. Like people who are just always trying to be comfortable, always on a pleasure seeking mission are the least happy people I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who just can't be uncomfortable for a second. The people that are always like, oh, just treat yourself, just eat it, you know. Of course, sometimes you should indulge, but the people who never like wanna all they do is just like I see them, I work with them where they just eat processed food and sit in front of a computer all day, don't walk. You know, when they have their break or their lunch break, they just maybe get up and sit a few tables down, but they don't actually like get up, walk around the building, go outside or anything like that. Those people, even though you'd think that they would be like the happiest, right? Because they're the most comfortable, are the most like unhappy, angry, bitter, ornery people that I know. So it just seems like we're gonna dive, like you said, deeper into the internet, deeper into just dopamine. What would you call it? My brain is kind of turned off right now. It's a little late, but
Just
sleep. Dopamine, like enriching. The thing is my whole thing is like you gotta cycle the dopamine, because have you ever done something that, like, for example, like scrolling on your phone, and when you haven't seen your phone in a couple hours, and then you like, oh yeah, and then after a while, it's like it doesn't get any more exciting, and you just keep doing it, and you're like, why am I on Instagram still? I'm not enjoying this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, that's dopamine burnout. And so I don't know.
I mean, could it go where people just indulge for a while and then they get so sick of that they end up creating this matrix, like let's say where you go to work, you plug in and play a game like The Sims or whatever, where you are
like the metaverse,
and you work an office job and you have a wife online and it's your partner and you like, I don't know, it's very sad to think about because it seems pretty bleak, but I could sort of see that happening too, where it's almost like you just create this whole new world online where things are normal again.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that's pretty much what the metaverse is, right? I mean, I remember a few years ago when Mark Zuckerberg was kind of pitching that. Yeah, that might just be like the new workforce, is you just kind of plug in and you kind of have like a normal life, not in real life, but trying to simulate real life when you should just go out and live real life. I think the thing that will save humanity, at least the first world say, is a hobby. Go get a hobby where
Dude,
you have to go, even if it's, I hate that I'm about to say this. I hate that I'm about to say this. Even if, and I was asked to join one of these groups today, even if it's Dungeons and Dragons, go get a hobby where you have to see people, where you are working on a craft, where you are working on a skill, whether it be pickleball or in my case, jujitsu or CrossFit or a book club or anything. I think your hobbies and your communities, like churches and things like that, those are your salvation, because everything else is going to shit.
People don't have hobbies. I mean, I have a ad up on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm talking to the general populace right now, and it's concerning how some people just know type good, but I'm concerned about the IQ level going on here, and I think that a lot of people just don't have hobbies. A lot of people
No, you can get one. They're not hard to get.
They're not interested in anything. They don't have any interests. It's their biological robots.
And also, a hobby is not video games. I mean, it is. I understand it is. I understand that there's skill involved, but I think you should try to get a hobby where you have to interact with other people in real life away from a computer.
But you are interacting with people when you play.
I understand. And it's not a hobby. I'm just saying, if you're trying to get the mental and physical benefits of a hobby, I would suggest like doing it in a wholesome way. Like, even if it's a kickball league, I think that's great. Or any sort of rec league, basketball, softball, whatever. Pickleball is big. I mean, obviously, I'm big into like moving your body. Moving your body is so good, not just for your body, but also your brain, which happens to be part of your body. But I would be so unbelievably depressed. I mean, if I just take a few days off of like working out and being physical, like I get super antsy and restless and I turn into a total cunt. So I can only imagine if you haven't moved your body in like 2 decades, why you might be so unhappy, you know?
Well, you move your avatar on the internet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People will go to the gym online where they'll get their avatar fit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this was a big kind of principle when I was studying evolutionary psychology back in grad school, but this whole notion of the mismatch hypothesis, where we still have very much caveman brains, if you will, but we're living in like a high tech world. So there is a mismatch, which is why, you know, so many people are overweight because we still have um, the cravings and desires for calorically high foods, things with a lot of carbs and fats, because in the environment in which we evolved, it was useful to have a taste for things that would bring you a lot of calories because you didn't know where your next meal was coming from. Obviously, we don't have that problem in America today. Everyone is super fat, but we still crave these like super sugary, high calorie foods. It's a problem. Same thing goes with like working out. Like you don't want to work out. The default setting is like, I don't want to move my body. But in the environment in which we evolved, you didn't have a choice. You had to move your body. You had to gather. You had to like build shelter. You had to follow the herds, whatever it was. But now we have the option to be sedentary. And obviously we are. So it's kind of like I always think about trying to take care of my ancestral brain. And I feel like you were kind of looking into this with the paleo diet, right? Like trying to go back to the way that humans used to eat because it seems like it was kind of like the best thing for their daily function.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, something that you evolved with over time, eating those things, but still haven't done that. By the way,
we're in
I'm
the
trying
holidays. It's the holidays.
exactly. I'm trying to just do low carb for now.
That's great.
You know, meats and veggies, pretty much.
That's great.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, I guess we can start wrapping this up here. I'm sleepy, baby.
Dude, me too. I feel like I've been rambling, but that's okay. Yeah, thank you again for making time tonight. Sorry it was maybe a little bit off because we're not used to this. We're old. We're middle-aged old people. We used to stay up. I used to stay up till like 3, 4 in the morning every night.
Not too long ago.
Yeah, not even that long ago. It's 10:19 right now, and I feel like I'm gonna die.
I know, I'm just yawning, trying not to yawn in the microphone, and yeah.
Dude, do you remember, like, again, not that long ago, I would be not even have left my house yet on a Saturday night. I was leaving the house sometimes like 10:30, maybe even 11 o'clock at night. I was leaving my house.
Yeah. To go out until
to
3.
Go out and have a whole night, a whole shenanigan-filled night. Insane.
It was fun, but yeah, I definitely glad that I've been there, done that. I have very little interest in doing that now, which I guess is a good thing. I kind of get depressed sometimes because I really enjoyed doing that.
I think about that all the time.
But I don't think my body would allow it.
I feel like it was something I really looked forward to, like going out, going to clubs, going to bars. And now I don't want to do that anymore. And I don't feel like I had anything really take its place. It was like so exciting and fun. And I always thought that a part of me would always want to do it. I always just thought the frequency of me doing it would go down. I didn't think that altogether I'd be like, I hate this. And I'm at the point where I'm like, I hate this.
Mm.
I also think it's like, you know, maybe if you're single, obviously you're probably a bit more eager to go out and meet people, but as a mated person, as a taken person, like what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell is the point? Get away from me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll end it there. Yeah. I'll get away from you. Thank you, Anna.
Get away from me. Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you on on Wednesday in real life, so that should be fun.
Yeah, we're going to see my buddy Zach Townsend. He's I don't even know if he's an up and coming comedian now. He's pretty much almost arrived.
He came
to Tampa, one of my best bros. I think I got him on Calta too. We'll see. He did call me yesterday, so I did put in a good word for him, and actually
cool.
posted one of his videos, and I go, "That's my friend. You should have him on the show." So we'll see if that actually happens or not. But yeah, he's opening for Andrew Santino. He's opening for Steve-O. Like he's well on his way.
Vaughn, right?
Yeah, yeah, I think he's worked with Theo Von a few times. But he's got Paid Vacation. Check them out on YouTube. Very funny boy. Won't do this podcast, but that's all right. And we'll be back next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Hope to see you there. Go sign up for the Substack. It's free. There's this free version, hmbradio.substack.com, thehomemade@gmail.com if you want to yell at us, or 813-693-2124. It's a voice and text line. Thank you all. I'm going to beddy bye now. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.